The Trump presidency has made deporting illegal immigrants a centerpiece of its national policy. The pressure on immigrant communities is increasing and real. Even sanctuary cities like New York City have agents patrolling subway stations in search of illegal immigrants. Even legal immigrants are feeling the strain. The librarian's job of providing validating service in a safe environment has now become even harder. How to accomplish this in an increasingly hostile environment? Ours is a nation of immigrants. Attitudes range from the stirring sentiments of Emma Lazarus's The New Colossus to the president's pledge to build the wall. There is a huge range between these two poles, including the hazy area between what people say they believe and what they actually believe. Educators and librarians belong to reflective professions. Both benefit from training that forces them to look at and challenge their belief systems. Graph study traces the evolution of teachers thinking about immigrants as a result of their participation in a graduate course on the representation of immigrants in multicultural literature. The author places the study in the context of a hostile environment towards immigration internationally, nationally, and locally. The seminar was launched with the expectation, hope, that the participants could be awakened to social justice issues in immigration. The findings that multicultural literature can open the minds of non-immigrants to immigrants' experiences are derived from the participants' attitude shifts over the course of the semester and by follow-up interviews 1 year after the course. Graph's approach can easily be adapted for librarian training. Examples of seminar activities are included in the study. This is not to say that multicultural literature is immune to its own set of biases. Yoon, Simpson, and Hagg's study is tightly focused on the ideologies embedded in multicultural children's literature, particularly assimilation versus pluralism. The tension between the two is fundamental to the experience of immigrants. Our national melting pot mythology is based on the assimilation ideal, an aspiration that is challenged by the current ideology of pluralism. It is also identified as a source of tension between non-immigrant communities, why can't they just learn to speak English, and immigrant communities, how do I preserve my culture while participating in the culture of the country I live in now? The authors posit that some of the literature that is presented as multicultural has a strong assimilationist bias, adding to the pressure on immigrants to conform and validating the majority's impatience with the immigrants' failure to conform fast enough. The authors assert that assimilationist ideology goes beyond the issues of authenticity and accuracy that have a high profile in the field. A book may be accurate and it may be authentic and still tout the assimilationist ideal. Conclusion: select multicultural literature with a critical eye. Be aware of underlying messages and use them to fuel your book discussions. There is still a big disconnect between the stance on multicultural literature promulgated by professional library and educational organizations and the publishing houses that produce and market books. Show publishers there is a market for these books. Build your collection. Collaboration and outreach are important tools for successful multicultural programming that reaches immigrant and non-immigrant communities alike. DIA is the perfect example of successful library programming that has continually expanded thanks to creative collaborations between community groups, businesses, schools, and institutions such as museums. Many libraries benefit from centrally planned and system-wide DIA celebrations. Immigrant communities may be very well served through successful collaboration and outreach by local institutions. An outstanding example of this is the collaboration between a public library, a university teacher preparation program, and a school district in the American Southwest to help develop authentic literature by drawing on Latino parents as storytellers and writers. The program had 4 goals, all of which were met. 1. Give parents opportunities to share language, traditions, and life experiences in a special collection of stories written by parents for their children. 2. Introduce parents to the library and motivate them to access library services. 3. Give teacher candidates the opportunity to make connections between theory, research, and practice, and to help in the implementation of the project. 4. Strengthen collaborations between the library, the neighboring school district, and the teacher preparation program to jointly support the growing Latino population. In the current political climate, libraries have a responsibility to reach out to the non-immigrant community as well, to draw them into programs about immigration and allow the literature to do what it does so well, cultivate empathy. Drawing on previous scholarship, Mabry and Bobnagri apply a conceptual framework on perspective-taking to help their inner-city students strengthen their ability to put themselves in someone else's shoes. The approach is to meet the students where they are, level and age, and to help them progress to the next level, or to expand their understanding at the age-appropriate level. Although their approach was developed for the classroom, it can easily be adapted for use in the library. Even if your community doesn't have a sizable immigrant community, it is still important to include this type of programming. The children and teens that you see will grow up to be voters. This is your opportunity to do your part to create responsible and thoughtful citizens. I have included some online resources to spur your research into library programs and multicultural literature about immigration. I'm sure you can find many, many more. Thank you.